What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is the envy of many people, and it's r/IDoWorkHereLady. Alright, this story's called From Airport to Park Entrance. Was listening to this subreddit being read on YouTube when I remember this adorable story from when I was doing an internship for a certain mouse in Orlando, Florida a few years ago. I think it belongs here and I hope you enjoy. Also, sorry if the formatting's off, I'm on mobile. I was about 7 months into my internship and I was very homesick. It was right after the holidays and I was dying to visit home, so I got a long weekend off in January since theme parks tend to be slower after New Year's and before spring break. So I got to surprise my family with a late Christmas gift. On my way back to Orlando, I brought some warmer clothes back to Orlando because it was definitely colder than expected, leaving my backpack a bit overfilled. Because of that, I had to have my Donald Duck stuffed animal popping out a bit so everything would fit. When I was walking to my gate, of course, I saw a lot of tourists, which was nothing new to me at that point. I was pretty much minding my own business until I heard a cute little squeal from an adorable girl.
Donald Duck! Yes, sweetie. Donald Duck will be there too. No, Donald Duck's right there!
Adorable girl points to me and my stuffed Donald in my bag.
Sorry, ma'am. She's a bit excited.
Don't worry, she's got every reason to be excited.
Are you going to Disney World too? It's gonna be my first time.
That's so exciting. And yes, I am. And you want to know something cool?
Of course!
I actually work for Mickey.
No way! I think that means that you better be on your best behavior on the plane so she won't tell Mickey you are bad and then won't let you into the park.
I nod in agreement. And if you behave, I'll make sure he knows that you're coming and he'll have some extra special magic for you when you get there.
Really?
Of course, Mickey always has extra magic for well-behaved princesses. From there, the conversation pretty much ends. I gave the family a few tips since they had never been to Disney, and then we got on the plane. I honestly thought I'd never see them again, and that I just made the beginning of a girl's vacation extra special. Until a few days later when I was working the touch points, or ticket stands, at the front of Magic Kingdom. I was helping guests like I normally do, when suddenly I hear a familiar squeal say my name. I did tell the family my first name when talking with them. I look over and see the little girl running up to me in full princess getup. Oh my goodness. Hello, princess. It's good to see you again.
Thank you for telling Mickey about me being on my best behavior. I was able to get this princess dress and have a super fun makeover with the fairy godmothers. Now I'm gonna go eat in Cinderella's castle.
I looked up to her mom. It was obvious they had planned the makeover as a surprise and used the whole Mickey thing as an explanation.
Why don't we get a picture of you two together and then let her get back to work? Okay, Mom.
So we took the picture and I gave adorable girl a big hug. Mickey and I have one more surprise for you.
Nuh-uh.
Of course, you're our pal. Why wouldn't we surprise you? Just wait 1 second. At park entry, we work with guest relations, so I called over one of my friends in guest relations, explained the situation, and asked if they could grab me a Donald Duck plush from the store. So he ran over, grabbed it for us, and then I got to give her the best surprise ever. I want to make sure you remember this trip forever and start off your day just like you started off your plane ride, with Donald, and that way we can have matching ones too.
Thank you, that's so cool, you're the best!
At this point, her mom is crying and adorable girl is running around like a kid at a candy store. Adorable girl and I took one more picture with the plush and then I wished them a goodbye and worked the rest of my shift. Edit. Thank you for the platinum and golds and all of the lovely comments. I'm happy to sprinkle a little bit of wholesome positivity during these crappy times. Reading how happy this made you all is making me happy. Proud to throw out a good story amongst all the Karens. And it's much appreciated. Holy cow. Who else was waiting in anticipation of some entitlement just out of nowhere, but was pleasantly surprised when there was none to be found? Also, you're welcome for the incredibly realistic little girl voice. I pride myself. This story is called Friday Evening Dinner. First of all, English isn't my first language, and I hardly ever use it, at least not verbally. I'm not on mobile, and I'm not handing out any excuses, take it as is. I was listening to my favorite YouTubers reading Reddit stories from the IDoWorkHereLady subs when I came to think about an episode I had many years ago that probably would fit in here. Hope you all like it, even though it is a little different from the other stories you're used to reading. I was sitting in a local restaurant having dinner and a beer after work on a Friday evening. The restaurant wasn't packed and it was nice and quiet, and I didn't see anyone I knew, so I just sat there all by myself in my own thoughts, enjoying the meal. I finished the meal and my beer and went outside for a smoke. When I came back in, there was a new beer on my table. I asked the waiter if he had read my mind, and he just smiled at me. After the beer, I ordered a drink and finished it before I went to the toilet to make room for another one. Same thing happened. There was a new drink standing on my table waiting for me. I was puzzled for a bit, but finished it and called the waiter to pay my bill. He came over to me and told me that it was already taken care of. What the fuck? By who? And why? It turned out that a man I didn't know paid it all. I thanked him, but asked why, as I clearly didn't know him. He asked me if I remembered that I helped a couple moving a large cupboard from a trailer and inside a house a year or so ago. I barely did, as it was a long time ago and wasn't anything special. One day when I was walking around the neighborhood, he and his pregnant wife, I guess 6 to 7 months, had bought the said cupboard and I helped him lift it so his wife didn't have to. I mean, she was pregnant, and this is what you do. You help out when you can. They didn't know anyone around the area and didn't have anyone to ask for help and thought she would have to help out lifting it. He said, "I do work here. Actually, I'm the owner. It's my pleasure to give something back to you for the help you gave us back then." Sorry for the lack of Karens and the drama you are familiar with in the stories on here. Edit. Wow! I posted this and went to bed. Now I woke up and this thing has exploded with positive feedback during the night. I humbly thank you all for your positive replies, upvotes, and awards. What I did wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I only did what everyone should have done when they come to a situation like that. Me, myself, try to help out wherever I can, whenever I can. The only thing special about this incident was that I didn't know them. It's never wrong to be kind to people. Me and the couple have become friends, and I even know their daughter, who's around 17, 18 years old. She has become a quite smart, multilingual woman and is studying hard to get her degree of whatever field she's in. Whenever I call the owner for a table reservation, he answers, "Hello, neighbor." That is an incredibly sweet story. Holy cow. Wholesome overload this episode, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you appreciate the wholesomeness and if you'd like more wholesome content. I can do a wholesome Wednesday or something. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But no promises. You boys got commitment issues. This story's called "The Guy with the Scanner Does In Fact Work Here and Is Not Hoarding." Okay, so I'll give you some backstory. Due to Armageddon hitting, a local shop, I'll just call Orange, needed more staff for online assistance. I sent in my CV and got the job. Sunday to Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. All I have to do is get a glorified shopping list, then go around the store getting everything on it in these huge carts with a bunch of boxes on them, each one dedicated to a different person's shopping list. Now, you would assume anyone dressed in all black with a bulky scanner and pushing around a giant cart that looks like it's from a factory would be an employee of the store. But evidently not. I was nearing the end of a list of a huge run, nearing the last few things on the list until a lady comes up to me. She really didn't look like she was having a good day. Her hair was a mess, she was stomping, etc. She comes up to me and says, "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?" My job? Do you mean your job? Your job is to hoard food? No, I work here as an online assistant. I'm getting food for other people. You don't work here. You're not wearing a uniform. You wait here. I'm gonna go find a manager. Checkmate. At this point, I had won. You see, the scanner I'm using has a button to just call a manager to your current location. It's a treasure tool and can never fall into the hands of the Karens and Ednas. Oh, don't worry, ma'am. I can call one right over with my employee scanner.
good. Wait, employee scanner? How did you get that?
I figured she was coming to her senses, but it was too late. The manager had been called and was on her way. As I was trying to tell you, ma'am, I work here. I just don't have a uniform yet. The manager eventually arrives. She had an R name like Rachel or Rebecca or something, so for the purpose of this story, we'll call her manager.
What's happening, OP?
This lady thinks I'm hoarding. Could you please explain what's going on?
If you're not hoarding, why do you have such a big cart?
It's to carry around people's online shopping. He's doing shopping for customers who can't come into the shop due to the outbreak.
Then why doesn't he have a uniform?
It's on order. We're just waiting for it to arrive, so for now, he's just wearing all black like all the other temporary assistants. The lady, who at this point looked quite defeated, just says,
Oh,
is there anything else I can help you with? No, I think we're done here. All right then, I'll get back to the online room. Are you nearly finished? Yep, just need to get a lot of bread. It seems like such a popular item. The manager takes her leave and so does the lady, looking rather embarrassed just to be completely served in probably the most professional way I've ever seen. I never thought I would find a Karen, or as I always called them, an Edna, anywhere outside my family, but here we are. To end on a positive note, I made an old lady laugh because she was looking at some alcohol, and the store has a Thank 25 policy. So if someone looks under 25, you should ask them for ID. So I approached her and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you need to be 18 or over to purchase that, and you don't look a day over 17. I'm gonna need to see some ID." She laughed and just said,
"Oh, thank you, dear."
So that was nice. Edit! The reason I said employee scanner is because there were two types. Basically, the employee ones are bulkier, have black cases, and look more like a gun with a flat top. The ones customers use look like white and orange phasers from Star Trek. Seems like Karen's the type of lady to hail a taxi, get in, and accuse the driver of being a thief because he's not wearing a taxi uniform. Alright, this story's called... Not sure if this belongs here, but yes, working the info desk is part of my job. I work as a baker at a supermarket, but I'm also fully trained in pretty much everything the shop floor could throw at me. The bakery in my store is right next to the customer information desk, which processes refunds, allows customers to pay off their credit card bills, and is where they pick up any click and collect orders. The shop floor has been incredibly busy thanks to Brovid-19. Our morning deliveries have been way bigger, but we have the same amount of staff we've always had. As a result, in the mornings, I've been manning the desk as well as doing my usual bakery duties because we don't have enough floor staff to have them running up and down to the desk every 5 minutes. I'm stocking up the front of the bakery when I realize a man, probably 70-ish and very middle class, is waiting by the desk. There's a doorbell on the desk which rings further down the store to get colleagues' attention, but also a note next to the doorbell that says if nobody is there to go see the baker as I can't hear the doorbell over the ovens. So I stop what I'm doing and ask if he's waiting. He says he's fine, so I assume someone else had already gotten to him and carried on with my day. Maybe 10 minutes later, I'm heading out of the bakery again to go fill up a shelving unit further down the store with some fresh rolls, and this guy is still there. I ask if I can help him. This time he looks up and down, taking in my baker's whites and hairnet before reiterating that no, he's fine. Alright, I shrug and carry on. Another 5 minutes or so pass, and a manager comes up the store and happens to come past the desk, at which point this guy starts laying into her because he's been waiting for so long. Nobody has been answering the doorbell. He only wants to correct a voucher that hadn't come off his receipt. I'm close enough to this to hear my manager say, "I'm actually just with another customer at the moment, but I'm sure OP will be able to help you," before she rushes off and I, with my best polite smile, step out of the bakery. Conversation goes something like this. "Hello again, sir. What can I do for you?"
"I've been waiting for some time, as you know, and nobody has come to serve me. This is unacceptable."
"Are you here to collect an order?"
"I've been ringing the doorbell for at least 10 minutes and..."
"If you're here to collect an order, can I just get your surname or order number so I can nip and grab it for you?" He splutters and pales a little.
"No, I'm here because this voucher didn't come off my receipt, but
Not a problem, sir. I can have that sorted in just a second for you. And again, with a big smile, I go behind the desk and refund the gentleman his 80 pence. A process which takes all of maybe a minute if you include me logging into the till. I send him on his way with, "I'm so sorry it took so long for anyone to ask if you needed anything. Have a lovely day." The manager who walked past asked me to be more wary of people waiting at the desk, until I explained what had happened and she checked the CCTV, at which point we had a good laugh at his expense. Honestly, other than just an utter brain fart, I don't think the guy did much wrong. I mean, imagine being in his place. He's waiting and waiting and waiting, and he doesn't want to bother anyone else, so he's just waiting for the people that he thinks are supposed to be the ones to answer his doorbelling. And then when someone finally comes, you're probably annoyed at that point, like, why aren't you doing your job? We don't exactly know how he said it or what he said, so I can't be 100% certain if he didn't do anything wrong, but I don't think it's too outrageous. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.